Hello, making a video. It is very, very bright in this room right now. So it might even be a little bit too bright for this camera. I don't know. It'll show every wrinkle there is and every baggy and every gray hair. But that's okay. And wrinkly neck and stuff. But whatever. We need to make peace with all of this, We need to make peace with the now, with what we have, with what's going on with our bodies, and even if the bodies are not looking good, or if they are not looking good anymore, or if they are not like 20 anymore, or if we're sick, or whatever is going on, or if we have warts. I have a wart here and some others on the neck, and it's not cool, and I put all kinds of concoctions on it. They don't go away. But that's okay. This is what I need to talk about. We need to accept it. We need to. It's like not accept. It's kind of difficult. I don't know how to explain this. Not accept it as like, okay, we age and now that's just the way it is, or some people call it God-given from the Christian God. The Christian God is not a very nice God. So the transhumanists say, no way, I don't accept that. And so I am totally in agreement with the transhumanists and say, no, it's not acceptable. We need to do things to keep ourselves healthy and happy, right? I mean, it's just a natural thing to do, not just to appeal to someone else, but to feel good, to be vibrant, to be jumping and dancing and singing, and to not have itching or warts or pimples or psoriasis or whatever people get, So not have ultra sensitive skin or be whatever, or aging or sickly or whatever, So all of this is not acceptable. Aging is not acceptable. Luckily, I got good genes, so that's something I'm infinitely grateful for. So I always nitpick, of course. I'm just like everyone else, I'm in front of the mirror, I nitpick, and I adore beautiful women and always wish, oh, that must be nice to be beautiful and so on, But I love myself also the way I am, and that's why I want to talk about this in this video. I think this is extremely important, no matter at what stage you are, and no matter how old you are, or young you are, or skinny, or heavy, or whatever, or under whatever conditions you're living, or however you are suffering, or whatever is going on in your life, you must love yourself. You have to love. That's the number one step. You must love yourself. If you are a midget, or if you are a giant like Tony Robbins, or in between, or if you're big build or skinny build, whatever it is, or if you are a hunchback, or if you fall somehow out of the norm of physicality, acceptance in society, you must love yourself. You must love yourself just the way you are. Make the best out of it. That's what I always say. And it's not easy when you haven't been loved as a child. It really isn't. If you have not been given that what you needed the most, and that is a lot of touch every day, a lot of hugging, petting, loving, compliments, encouragements, being felt by your parents and caregivers, having your needs felt and met and understood by the others, having been listened to, You know, if you go, "Mommy, I want to play with you. Leave me alone. I'm busy. Don't you see I'm working?" You know, that's the situation I grew up with, because my mother was a lawyer working at home, but still had no time for me. She was there, but she wasn't there. So all of those Arjanov calls primal experiences, major primal experiences, and permanent primal experiences. You know, major primal experience is when my mother stomped her foot on the ground and said, "Do I have a retarded child?" Because I was not feeling safe. And so this is the number one thing that I want to emphasize when I talk to people or when I make videos is make your children feel safe. Make your animals feel safe. That's the most important thing in the world, is to make the living being who lives with you feel 100% safe. And the way you make someone feel safe is by being there for that other being, by giving, see the other being as an extension of yourself. I see my dog as an extension of my own body, but I value him more than my own body. Okay, that's altruism, and that is the ultimate state of love. That is the infinite state of love. So I think there's only a few people who can achieve this state of love. Paul Watson certainly, and he is a lot braver than I am, a lot better person than I am. I'm not bragging and saying I am the best person or something, you know. I am loaded with emotional problems, loaded with trauma, loaded with struggles, loaded with inner conflicts, and so on, just like everyone else. But I have this one thing going, and that is the ability to infinitely love. And my wish is to convey this to the world, to bring this ability of love to others, to spark it in others, you know, to invigorate other people to do the same thing, to practice it. If you can't do it, don't beat yourself up, you know. Not everyone can do it. Not everyone has that feeling. Okay, but it is important to move towards it. Like my friend Rita, for example, who was extremely ambitious and dedicated, and she understood it. She understood it up here. She understood it intellectually, the importance of striving towards it. And she calls it striving towards the light. You can call it that. It sounds a little bit new agey, and a lot of people use it and abuse it and oversell it also and make money with it. So that's why it loses, it then begins, these things begin to lose their meaning, you know, when it has been played with and taken advantage of in a bad way. That's why I don't even want to use that type of terminology. I say strive towards altruism. I don't think anyone can really mess that word up, altruism, because altruism is what it is. Altruism. The other first. Put the other first before yourself. That's altruism. Live for the other. Paul Watson lives for the baby seals, the whales, the dolphins, all the beings, particularly the beings that have to do with the ocean, because he sees what is going on. A lot of people on land forget about the ocean. They eat fish. They don't even know where it comes from. They don't know the chain reaction that is connected with eating seafood and so on. So that's why he wants to bring attention to it. He lives for that, okay? He doesn't care about accumulating money. That is not on his agenda, okay? They take donations. They're not even in your face with that, like other organizations who are always fundraising. Sea Shepherd is not doing the aggressive fundraising. They have to do some fundraising, but they do it more like you can if you want to, okay? It's not in your face. It doesn't put pressure on you. So I like that. That's the way to do it. And I'm always, wherever I go, I'm always telling people to donate to Sea Shepherd. I am not getting anything for saying this. I have donated to them myself in the past several times. Okay, I will again in the future. They are amazing. And there's only a handful of really, really great organizations out there. Okay, IFAW also, and PETA, and IDA, and Animal Defenders International. A few that are really, really, really good. Mercy for Animals is good. Shark is good. So there's a handful of really well-meaning and dedicated and hard-working people and groups out there, and they are the ones that deserve anyone's financial support. Okay, it's not some missionaries who preach and who prevent birth control in Africa. Those are not the ones who deserve the money. Okay, this is my honest opinion here. Okay, because what's happening with that is just extreme corruption. Okay? And I'm not gonna use names right now because I don't want to get in trouble. But I let you come to your own conclusions about this. Okay? Follow the money trail, people. Okay? Do some legwork, do some research legwork on these things, and trust your gut instincts and follow the money trail, and you will see where they go and what their real motives are. Sea Shepherd they're living there to help the animals, to save the planet, to make this world that we live in good for all living beings equally much, for all the animals, for all of us. Okay? It's very, very important. So, and I always say the animals first, because as a species with hands and legs and feet and a somewhat conniving brain that we humans have, we have the responsibility to be there for all the other beings, and we have the responsibility to put them first. That's altruism, and altruism is the ultimate happy existence for all of us. Okay, it's like it is an extension of the mother instinct state. Okay, the mother instinct is true love. Okay, we can extend that true love to all beings, and then we achieve a state of paradise and happiness. To get there seems to be a very long and difficult journey, but all it requires is that each individual person understands this, fully understands this within their own brain. Once they understand it, they can take measures to get there. They can turn their life around right where they are. U-turn right there where they are. Turn it around. Don't buy meat anymore. No. Phase away. eat your reserves and only buy vegan food from then on. Do not put your money into suffering, into the production of suffering anymore. Okay. No more milk, no more dairy products, no more eggs, no more animal products at all. No more meat, no fish. Okay. Vegan, that's altruism. It will make you way more, way sharper, way more alert, way more, I don't like the word spiritual, way more intuitive. It will make you way more psychic. You will have abilities. Everything comes with a flip side, okay? It matters that what we do is not for ourselves, for our own gains, okay? What matters is, I'm only throwing this in to lure people, to make it sound more enticing, okay? Because it does come with a lot of benefits. I promise this to you. Okay? I know so. I've seen it in my own life. I've seen it in other people's lives. You see it on YouTube with all the raw foodists. Okay? They all talk about it. So, but do it not for yourself. Do it for the others. When you do it for the others, when it really comes from within as an act of doing it for the other person, for the other being. For me, all beings are persons. Kenny is a person. And when you do this, then it is altruism, then it's not an ulterior motive, okay? It's altruism. It is being there for the other living being, and that is the state of bliss, of love, of true giving. So that's what we need to do. And we also need to love our own body cells. So no matter in what state you are, you must love yourself, okay? It may sound strange and frightening and all of this because you may be 100 years old and have never loved yourself. It doesn't matter how old you are. Begin it, do it anyway, and even if it feels fake. Teal Swan talks about it. She has some amazing exercises in her book, Shadows Before Dawn. Amazing exercises. I already knew about some of them. And what I personally do is I have a roll-on oil, like a essential oil roller, like it's a little bottle with a roller end, and you can roll on the oil onto your neck and stuff. So what I do with it every day after I get up, I take this roller oil, I refill it with different essential oils that I have mixed up myself, because the oil is rolled out very quickly, and then I refill it. I have pine needle oil in it right now, and what I do is I paint hearts on my body, like on my breasts, for example. And if I was to show my breasts now, then it would be laid out as exhibitionist, so there's no way, I'm not gonna do it. I know the consequences of these things. So, but yeah, you roll a heart onto the, like this. So I can't show anymore, I'm sorry. But you roll it onto the skin, a heart, okay? Here too, on the neck, on the breasts. That prevents breast cancer, by the way. You can roll it on your balls. You can roll it on your butt cheeks. You can roll it on your thighs, on your whole body, You roll on hearts. And you can also roll on I love you, Do it every day. Just do it every day, like you drink water, like you eat. Make it a habit. Make it just, don't even think about it anymore. Get up, brush your teeth, and roll love on your body. And in time, you will see results. I guarantee you. You'll be much more susceptible to sensitive stories, to love, you'll be feeling more sensitive. You will feel more sentimental when you see someone loving a dog or a pig or a rabbit. You will, instead of having this knee-jerk reaction that a lot of people initially have when they see sentimental videos, or instead of making a sarcastic or a trollish comment or a knee-jerk resistance reaction. Okay, instead of doing this, you will be much more inclined to take that in, to take that love that you see there in, and it will remind you, probably, usually subconsciously, of your inner child, of the past, of the scenarios where your parents just didn't feel you, just didn't see you, where you felt completely alone. Let that in, allow that state of feeling, allow that memory, allow your body to flow with that. And what will flow is the tears. And they will really, really flow. Let them flow as long as they want to. And then, with that, things are healing. Things will gradually heal more and more and more. And you will not act out anymore. You will not seek out the same abusive people that you had been surrounded with in the past. You will not seek out those same types anymore, okay? You will seek out people who you can feel safe with. And that's my main subject, is true existence. Existence as a living being. I've been thinking about this for years and years and years, and just recently it's becoming much more sharply focused in my life. Is this existence that I live here right now on this planet. This 51 years of suffering that I have behind me, that I want to end the suffering. It's a gradual process, okay? It's a never-ending learning process. And I probably will never come to the state I might never come to the state where I can say, now I'm not suffering anymore. Probably not. But I'm not clinging to that outcome. You can't cling to any outcome anyway. You can wish for it. But there's one thing I really understand now. It really registered with me. And Jiddu Krishnamurti is talking about this in every one of his talks. In order to feel like one with everything and one with the flow of life and this existence, the state of existence, in order to not be in doubt about your own existence and the purpose of it, and in order to not be in a resistance to anything, in order to not have this feeling of, I gotta get over with it, this state of mind that a lot of people have that says, oh, I have a dentist appointment, let me get over with this, or I have this assignment, or I have this presentation in school, I just want to get over with this, So we don't have this state of mind anymore. In my case, it's like, when is my life going to be over? Then I don't have to suffer anymore, So believe me, I am probably the one who has really ground through this the most. Maybe, I don't know, I can't speak for other people, but it feels like I have really examined all of this from the inside out. It's like walking on my gums, literally, dentist experiences or just a symbolic, literal thing of my daily mental suffering. It's Sylvia Plath type of grinding, raw, undiluted, non-numbed, like no anesthesia, like living through extreme suffering without any kind of pain remedy, without any kind of complement, without any kind of help, like without any kind of being catered to, like my brother was, or with his popularity and all of this. He was a photo model. So I haven't had that opportunity. I've also sabotaged myself, but maybe subconsciously, so that I could go through this grind in order to learn from it. It's a learning experience, really. So and I see a lot of people sabotaging themselves. Arjanov said it is in order to learn. It's because the body wants to go back to the state of homeostasis, wants to go back to really in order to heal it. I don't know if that's that is some kind of need that the body is kind of thinking this through in that way, kind of subconsciously. I don't know if that's the case, but yeah, the body wants to heal, and it is seeking out a situation to heal, to also from our past incarnations. So to heal this basso continuo of this specific type of issue that one carries with them throughout the lives, and that gets slowly worked out, slowly dissolved. And it takes a long time, very long time, and so we go through many different stages, and so the next life will be better, and so on. I have memories of having been tortured in my past lives. So also to come to this final state where I see the contrast and where I see the happiness right next to one another. I have a direct clarity of contrast between these things. It is very sharply outlined. That's why my artwork is the way it is. I have very clear contours in my artwork. I know a lot of you don't believe in reincarnation, and that's okay. I don't expect anyone to believe in it. I don't even want to change anyone's belief system or non-belief system, So I usually get along better with atheists because I call them the tabula rasa state. It is a very honest state, mentally. It's very honest. So anyway, my life itself has brought me to the perspective of panpsychism and cosmism. This is very clear that this is my state of mind before I heard this terminology. So when I heard the terminology from Dr. Ben Goertzel, from his blog that he has on Blogger, A Cosmos Manifesto, it was very clear to me that this is describing my own state of mind that I have come to over the years because of this type of thought evolution that I have gone through. That's just my personal development, no one has to accept that, no one has to agree with me. And I don't even want people to agree with me. I want people to find out their own path. I want people to come to their own conclusions about truth, about revelations for themselves, whatever is revealing itself to them in that particular state of development that they are in. That is what's important, that each person comes to their own understanding of things. Okay. The only thing that I want to remind people of is to not go along with someone else, with what some other guru or teacher was. Listen to them, let it churn through your brain and body, work it out, evaluate it from within, okay? And always come to your own conclusions. The more we read and learn, the better it is. Don't say, I'm not going to read this or that, because don't be in resistance to it. It can't hurt you, it can only enrich you. Okay? So you will come to your own conclusions anyway after you read it. You can weigh it off, you can compare them, you can write down notes, you can ask yourself, does this hold true in my own life or in my own understanding of things, where you are right now at this state of mind, in development in your life, of intellectual development, of psychological development, and so on. So weigh it off and never ever stop questioning. Never stop to ask questions. It's the questions, it's the quest, okay, that moves you forward. Okay? And so the number one important thing for all living beings is total safety. Okay? A plant grows in the soil. The plant isn't thinking about safety or whether there's a predator coming and eating the plant. The plant is just growing. But if you look closer into the biology, you will, and there are people who have done that, you will see that plants also react to energy around the plant. The plant apparently needs the birds. The plants apparently need the squirrels and the birds singing and the animals climbing up on them. Apparently needs that physical touch too. I mean, it may sound very strange and absurd to a lot of people, but science is coming to this this conclusion, to this discovery now. Okay, it has always made sense to me. So it's very clear. A plant is a living being. So a plant likes to be kissed. It's true. So every single living being on this planet likes this energy of 100% acceptance from the surrounding world. Whether that is in form of a squirrel climbing on a tree and hanging onto the tree, loving the tree, it's love, It's like, it's a symbiotic relationship. So, and that is applying to all life. And if people start to understand this, they will no longer use pesticides or chemicals or any of these harsh things, or they will never ever cut a tree again. Okay, they will never buy tree products again. They will understand, okay, that these living beings, some of them are over 2,000 years old, okay, they live there for their own purposes, okay, they are existences. I say they have souls, okay? And they want to live. And they live in symbiosis with all of us. We are dependent on the air that the tree produces, the oxygen that the tree produces. And it's not just the forests, it's all oceans are producing oxygen. And I heard they produce even more oxygen than the forests. So if people are doing massive fishing and dolphins, babies getting caught in tuna nets, and read it for yourself, people. Read the horror that goes into this, into fishing and the fishing industry and the sonar by the military and the underwater noise pollution and all of these things that's going on, the pesticides, the motor oil production, waste products that go into the ocean, all of these chemicals, these completely synthetic, unnatural chemicals that would have never evolved without laboratories. All of this goes in the ocean. Plastic bags go in the ocean. The macrocephalus eat those, and they think they are jellyfish. And how do they know better? They don't understand where these plastic bags come from. Or glitter, like some people, they use glitter makeup or glitter for art or whatever. This stuff ends up in the ocean. Okay, be careful. And when it ends up in the ocean, it ends up in ocean animals' bodies, and it causes incredible harm, incredible suffering. Okay, and the plastic bags in the stomachs of whales. What incredible starvation and suffering happening because of these kind of things. So most people don't understand any of these consequences of it. Okay, that's why it is so incredibly important that we start to become aware, consciously aware of what humanity is doing to this planet that we live on. Okay, it is so important. It is the most important thing there is, to become aware, become consciously aware, and to start to read everything that you can find on environmentalism, and turn your life completely around and live in tune, live for the planet. Don't live unconsciously anymore. Okay, and so every living being, the plants need safety, the animals need safety. All humans need safety. Every child needs safety in order to even learn and let information in. When I was a child, I didn't feel safe at all. Okay? I sat there and I painted skeletons at age 6 in school. We were given the task to paint a beautiful princess in a princess gown with crayons. And what did I paint? I painted a princess. I painted the gown, the hair and everything, but the face was a skull. Okay, why would a 6-year-old child paint a skull in a princess dress? So that leaves a lot of questions, and I haven't found all the answers yet. I have some suspicions on this, but one thing is for sure, I did not feel safe as a child, and because of that, my brain was completely blocked. I could not learn, and most children cannot learn, and all this increasing ADHD because of pesticides, because of chemical pollution, because of pharmaceutical medication, and because of vaccines. It's all causing all kinds of horrendous neurological complications. Okay, I want people to know this. And the most important thing, and the number one thing is for health and for vitality is to not have psychological stress, to not feel unsafe. The feeling of unsafety for any being at any stage in their life is extremely detrimental and causes suffering and death, ultimately. Okay? So keep this in mind, people. Make it safe for every living being around you, including yourself. Take care.